A few housekeeping notes before we get started. If you experience any issues with your audio, please check your Zoom and computer audio settings. Exiting and re-entering the Zoom link can also help resolve any issues. We will be addressing as many questions as we can today during a Q&A session at the end of the program, but please feel free to submit your questions throughout today's session through the Q&A function in Zoom. Now I will turn it over to CFP Board Chief Operating Officer Dane Snowden.
Thank you all for joining us today. I'm here with CFP Board Managing Director of Marketing and Communications, Jim Katsunis, and Lori Loker, Director of Advertising and Public Awareness Campaign. We are here today to share details about our 2025 Public Awareness Campaign, which launches this coming Monday. This is an exciting time of year for us at CFP Board because the campaign is the most visible way we connect with the public and showcase the value of CFP certification. But before we dig in, I'll share a little bit of the history behind our ongoing public awareness effort and the campaign's impact. We will discuss the campaign's objectives and outline the strategic media plan for 2025. We will share the television commercials and other creative elements of the campaign. We will detail our strategic public relations efforts to raise awareness of CFP certification and support the CFP professional community. And finally, we will of course take your questions about the campaign. One of the board's key strategic priorities is awareness. For more than 2 decades, growing brand recognition has been a top priority for CFP professionals. And year after year, CFP professionals continue to rank growing brand awareness as a top priority. Our first public awareness campaign launched in 2011, setting the foundation for building consumer recognition of CFP certification. And 14 years later, we continue to build a strong brand awareness with our 4th campaign, It's Gotta Be a CFP. I'll turn it over to Jim to walk through the campaign strategy. Jim?
Thank you, Dane. The campaign strategy, as you mentioned, is to increase consumer awareness of CFP certification and preference for working with a CFP professional. The campaign's target audience we call the Mass Affluent Initiator, or MAI. It's a proprietary subsegment of the mass affluent. They are individuals ages 35 to 64, educated, employed or recently retired, with a minimum household income of $125,000 and investable assets of $100,000 to $1 million plus. And they are psychologically predisposed to working with a financial advisor. The current campaign, It's Gotta Be a CFP, first launched in 2023 with a vignette we call Bungee, and continued in 2024 with a new vignette we call Surgery. Like Bungee, Surgery proved to be breakthrough creative that capitulated CFP certification to all-time highs for total awareness and preference for CFP certification among our target audience. By emphasizing to consumers that asking the right question can greatly impact your future, the ad creative draws a parallel between a high-risk situation with the feeling of uncertainty and confidence and security one feels when working with a qualified professional. The campaign also emphasizes the CFP acronym with a direct call to action to find a CFP professional. Dane, I turn it over to you to share how far we've come since 2011 when CFP Board launched its first public awareness campaign.
Thanks, Jim. Picking up the theme from our campaign, we are internally asking the right questions about its impact. So each year, we measure effectiveness through a brand tracking survey conducted by independent research firm Heart and Mind Strategies. So back in 2011, before we launched the campaign, unaided awareness of CFP certification was just 17%, meaning only a small fraction of our most relevant prospects could recall it without prompting. Today that number has more than doubled, and that is a significant achievement, especially when benchmarked against industry standards and considering the scale of our campaign's budget. Even more impressive, last year alone, unaided awareness jumped 10 points from 34% to 44%, further proving the campaign's impact. Total awareness, which includes both unaided and aided recognition has soared from 75% to 91%, an all-time high among our target audience. And it's not just awareness. We've seen a record high 89% preference for working with a CFP professional, more than 4 times where it stood in 2011. The intent to use a CFP professional has also surged, tripling to 90%. Simply put, we have strong confidence the campaign is working. In fact, we have not only established CFP certification as the standard in financial planning, but we have led the conversation on a national scale. Over the past 14 years, together, we've built a category, shaped the national mindset, and proven the value of financial planning with CFP professionals. Looking ahead, our focus remains on driving total awareness and preference even higher in 2025. Lori, I want to bring you into the conversation. You oversee the day-to-day of the campaign. Walk us through what we can expect this year.
Happy to, and thank you, Dane. The 2025 Public Awareness Campaign launches Monday, March 17th, and runs for 9 weeks through Sunday, May 18th. The bulk of the campaign spend is during spring to align with tax season, a time when finances are top of mind for our MAI target audience. There are also evergreen elements of the advertising campaign, which launched in January and will continue through the end of the year. In partnership with our agency, Button, we've once again crafted a media plan that delivers a combination of the right media channels and frequency to achieve the best results. The 2025 media plan includes a wide breadth of media partners, many reflected here. Using data, research, and psychographic information, we are able to understand the core media usage habits of our proprietary target audience. We use that information to inform the media buy and connect with our audience with the right message at the right time and in the right context. From this, we know they are significant consumers of news, lifestyle, and financial programming, and sports. This programming content also aligns with the top 3 interests of visitors to our consumer-facing website, letsmakeaplan.org. In 2024, we added 10% more sports content as an analysis showed that 30% of our target audience tuned into sports programming. Building off the success of sports content from last year's campaign, we will continue with that focus in 2025. We will also increase audience exposure with new Prime bundles offered by Netflix, Apple TV, and Peacock, in addition to leveraging new viewing experiences on Hulu and YouTube TV. The 2025 Public Awareness Campaign has an $18.7 million total budget. The bulk of the $14.75 million media spend is over 9 weeks, from March to May, and aims to drive at least 1.3 billion impressions. That's the total number of times our ad will be seen. Television is used for mass reach and frequency. As such, 75% of the ad spend is spread over traditional broadcasts or cable and connected TV or streaming. We have some exciting sponsorships this year that include ESPN's SportsCenter Top 10, the CNBC ticker integrations, and MLB Network's Ask the Experts, to name a few. About 25% of the media budget is spread over the remaining channels, including digital media, which includes pre-roll video, animated display banner ads, and interactive media units. Audio consists of streaming, such as Pandora, SiriusXM, iHeart, Spotify, as well as broadcast radio placements with NPR and American Public Media. Paid social, we're on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll continue with and enhance print, which was new and very successful in 2024. And now let's look at the creative we'll run for this year's campaign. In both 2023 and 2024, we saw great success with the bungee and surgery commercials. Not only were they humorous and memorable, but they successfully delivered on the campaign tagline, "It's gotta be a CFP." As Jim mentioned earlier, the campaign emphasizes the CFP acronym and features a strong call to action. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org, where consumers can search for a CFP professional. Both Bungie and Surgery delivered above average unaided brand recall within the finance category and drove above average same-day response rates to letsmakeaplan.org. Additionally, both spots were measured in an undertone brand study, which captures the emotional reaction to and recall of commercial campaigns. Bungie and Surgery drove strong levels of positivity and brand recall, and between 82 and 90% on intent to learn more. Even more impressive, both creatives landed in the top 4% of all ads measured by undertone, which is in the thousands of ads, performing better than several Super Bowl ads from brands such as Budweiser, Uber Eats, and Popeyes. In 2025, we will again leverage these two powerful commercials to deliver on the campaign strategy and goals. Now, we'll share both commercials. First up is Bungie.
Double check that. Pretty good. Yee. Not crying, are you? Let's tighten that and... Ooh.
Wait, what was that?
What? That? No, don't worry about that. Here we go.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future,
Are you qualified to do this?
What?
especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question?
Are you a certified financial planner?
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
Hey there, Brenda.
It's Carol.
Exactly. So which leg are we operating on?
You mean arm?
It's all connected.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your
Are
future,
you sure you're an orthopedist?
Actually, I'm a Sagittarius.
especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question? Are you a certified financial planner?
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
It's all connected. By far, that is my favorite line in the surgery spot. I want to share another example of our campaign success and how it's breaking through and becoming a part of the American culture. Last month, I opened up the New York Times and was pleasantly surprised to see Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Thomas Friedman quoting the surgery ad in an opinion piece. And here's the twist. The piece wasn't about CFP Board or financial planning. It was about electric vehicles and the global economy. But Friedman used our campaign to make the point that expertise matters. This tells me that the CFP brand has tapped into the collective consciousness. And in doing so, we've reached a new level of cultural relevance. You know, in the ad biz, they call that earned media, but here at CFP Board, we call it free promotion. Walk us through, hey, Lori, walk us through the media tactics we can expect in this year's campaign.
Sure thing, Dane. So CFP certificates can expect to see It's Gotta Be a CFP across the same successful media channels as last year, with the addition of a few new tactics. Once again, we'll have front page ads on the Wall Street Journal, above the fold and below the fold, in the weekend edition on April 13th, right before tax day. This year, we'll enhance our presence with the addition of Wall Street Journal digital placements, which allows us to leverage the publication's 10 million LinkedIn followers. There'll be live in-program placements or picture-in-picture messaging on connected TV. This allows viewers to see our messaging and commercials without taking them away from the program, like a commercial break would. Quickly, you may be asking, what is connected TV or CTV? In short, it's streaming. It's TV you connect to through the internet and then watch through apps like Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu. It includes smart TVs, which have built-in apps, and regular TVs connected to the internet through devices like Roku, Apple TV, or Fire Stick. With connected TV technology, we're able to track real-time action taken by our viewers, such as visiting the letsmakeaplan.org website after seeing our TV spot. In 2024, we saw the same-day response rate increase 94% over the prior year by using this technology. In fact, the response rate to our commercials was 75% higher than the industry average for the finance category. It's once again proving the effectiveness of these commercial spots. In 2025, we're also adding Netflix, where we'll reach our viewers during that all-important binge watching sessions. These longer watch times result in an increased ad recall, engagement, and action. The campaign also includes branded placements in the home buying app, Zillow, where we can join our target audience during one of their most significant life stage moments, purchasing a home. The campaign will continue to utilize animated and video display ads, which you see here. The messaging of these animated display ads incorporates elements from the TV spots, including asking the right questions and is your financial advisor a CFP professional? The digital display banners will run across desktop, mobile, and tablets. Again, the call to action links directly to letsmakeaplan.org, where consumers can search for a CFP professional. And here are some of our interactive media ads, which help drive awareness, but also allow the audience to engage more within the ads. These ads usually have more than one prompt to further entice the user to take action, such as learn more or find your CFP professional. Another example, new in 2025, is Hulu's ad selector, which allows the user to choose their ad experience by selecting the ad they want to view. Similar to the animated ads, the interactive ads will run across desktop, mobile, tablets, and smart TVs. These placements will be in media environments designed to meet the target audience where they are in their digital journey, causing minimal disruption to their overall viewing experience. Let's face it, who wants that? The intent of our paid social ads.
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional and let's make a plan. Asking the right question can greatly impact your future,
Are you sure you're an orthopedist?
especially when it comes to your finances.
Are you a certified financial planner?
I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be. Is your financial advisor a CFP professional? That's why it's gotta be a CFP.
The intent of our paid social ads is primarily to help raise overall brand awareness and secondarily to drive traffic to letsmakeaplan.org. We'll be running paid social ads across Facebook and Instagram. And if you don't already, please make sure to follow us on both. CFP Let's Make a Plan on Facebook and CFP Board _ LMAP or LMAP on Instagram. Now, Jim will share more about the PR and communication strategies that are an important component of the campaign.
Thank you, Lori. Before I share about our public, paid media efforts and our PR efforts, I do want to encourage those that are listening today and participating in today's webinar to please submit questions. We look forward to answering as many questions as possible at the end of today's webinar. So just use the tool and submit some questions. We already have a few dozen. We look forward to getting a few more. So as Lori mentioned, and share, to extend our paid media efforts, we'll seek to maximize and optimize our public relations opportunities and extend our brand message through our CFP Board ambassadors. CFP Board ambassadors are CFP professionals who serve as representatives of CFP certification on a voluntary basis. They appear in a variety of media and give a local voice to our consumer advocacy and mission to benefit the public. We also continue to optimize our own social and web channels to enhance reach and frequency. All paid and organic efforts drive consumers to letsmakeaplan.org to make an informed decision by engaging with and learning from the site's content, and to find a CFP professional through the search tool. The website's consumer-facing content, written by our CFP Board ambassadors, is updated weekly to help drive traffic to the site, while offering relevant and informative information. In 2024, letsmakeaplan.org had over 2.5 million users and more than 5 million page views. The website is a resource for consumers to make an informed decision about choosing a CFP professional who meets their specific needs. So I can't stress this enough. It's important for CFP certificates to make sure their online profiles are up to date. Again, please update your online profiles. And if you don't have one, activate your online profile. And most importantly, profiles should include a photo. We learned from a recent usability study of the website by consumers that those CFP profiles, which included a photo, were perceived as more trustworthy and likely to be contacted for financial planning services. Therefore, as part of our own ongoing enhancements to the Find a CFP search tool, profiles with a photo will be prioritized in the search results. A communication to certificants was sent last week, I believe on Friday, regarding this update, as well as other enhancements being made to letsmakeaplan.org. These updates are designed to enhance consumer trust and drive more informed connections between CFP professionals and potential clients. To extend the campaign's overall reach, we also make a toolkit available to CFP certificates. The toolkit is available online at cfp.net/PAC or PAC, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. Certificates can find a variety of resources, including the TV spots, email signatures, LinkedIn profile banners, promotional marketing materials, and sample social media posts. This toolkit is designed for certificates to use in support of their own professional branding and marketing initiatives. The assets may be used to link directly to your CFP professional profile on letsmakeaplan.org. And as I mentioned earlier, now is a great time for all CFP professionals to update their Find a CFP Professional profile, which can be accessed through the CFP Board account. Now I pass it back to you, Dane.
So Jim, your message is update the profile.
Please update your profiles, everyone.
Well, folks, now it's time to hear from you. We would like to answer your questions throughout the next few minutes that we're here together. First question I have from Paul. How are you measuring the success of these campaigns? And he says, we pay a lot in dues. What's your return on investment? Lori, I'll ask you to answer that. Take a stab at that first.
All right. Me too. So, Paul, we measure the campaign success through the annual brand tracking survey, which Dane reviewed earlier. That's run by an independent research organization. And the study's been conducted every year since the first campaign in 2011. We run the study each year during the final weeks of TV advertising. As Dane reviewed, last year, unaided awareness for CFP certification was at an all-time high of 44%, which was a 10% increase over the prior year. And total awareness was at 91%, also our highest level yet. In addition to brand awareness, we track other key performance indicators such as web engagement. As Jim just mentioned, in 2024, our letsmakeaplan.org website had over 2.5 million users and more than 5 million page views, demonstrating strong consumer interest. We also measure how quickly viewers act upon seeing the ads, including visiting the website to learn more or to search for a CFP professional. And we saw record growth in that last year. These metrics show that the campaign is not only increasing awareness, but also driving consumer behavior that benefits CFP professionals.
Thanks, Lori. John L. asks, and I'll turn this over to you, Jim. How did the campaign to recruit young advisors into the profession impact this campaign targeted at prospective clients?
John, thank you for asking that question. There's been a lot of confusion between the two campaigns. The Quite Possibly the Perfect Job digital campaign is not part of the public awareness campaign. It is part of our broader workforce initiative focused on expanding the talent pipeline. The Quite Possibly campaign aims to encourage college and college-bound high school students to take their first steps to explore a career in financial planning. Social media is a very crowded space, so the ads were designed to break through that specific audience in a bold way with messaging that is grounded in data. While these two campaigns serve very different purposes and different audiences, they both work towards the same broader goal, strengthening the financial planning profession. The recruitment campaign, Quite Possibly the Perfect Job, helps build a qualified pipeline of passionate advisors who can better serve future clients, while the public awareness campaign educates consumers on the importance of working with a CFP professional. Together, they complement one another, ensuring that financial planning profession continues to grow, while also making sure there are well-prepared professionals to meet the needs of future clients.
And I can say, Jim, the common denominator between two campaigns, they're both winning awards.
They're both winning awards. We just
Excellent.
received our recent Addy Awards for both campaigns.
So there's a question from Hank. Lori, I'll toss it to you first. He wants to know, did he miss it, or is CNBC not included on the target audience? And if not, so why?
Oh, so CNBC is absolutely included in our media plan. So as we mentioned and showed the logos on screen, that's just a sample of some of the media that we do purchase. So we do have a CNBC as part of our media plan, in addition to a number of other outlets and programs that you might not have seen represented on that slide.
I see here Frank had a second question, so we'll go to Jim for you for this. It says, why not use the term fiduciary prior to stating that we are committed to acting in the client's best interests?
Great question, Hank. The word fiduciary is not commonly understood amongst consumers. We did a lot of testing when we were writing the scripts for this campaign. There is, one major brand out there that does use fiduciary in their commercials, but for the most part, consumers don't understand the word fiduciary. So if we could educate them on best interest, then once they start engaging with a financial CFP professional, then we can start educating them on fiduciary, as well as drawing them to our Let's Make a Plan website, which they can learn more about being a fiduciary. But it's based off of, market research that the term fiduciary was not as well known and understood by consumers.
And through some market testing as well.
Yeah.
So Francis asked, how can we help families understand the benefits of a family trust account? Lori?
Great question, Francis. So we know that educating families about financial planning tools, including family trusts, is an important part of what CFP professionals do. So to help with that, our CFP Board ambassadors write consumer-friendly articles that are posted on letsmakeaplan.org. And they write them on several topics, including estate planning and trusts. So we share these articles on our social media channels, both organically and through paid promotion. We also encourage CFP professionals to share educational content on social media, host informational webinars, or provide content workshops to explain the long-term benefits of a family trust in estate planning, wealth preservation, and tax efficiency.
So Garrett here asked the question, and this goes to you, Jim. He's listening.
Yep.
How do we add a picture to our CFP profile?
Garrett, thank you for all these questions. If you log into your CFP Board account, on the left-hand side, in the navigation of your account, you'll see a link there that says Find a CFP Pro tool or Find a CFP Pro. If you click on that, you'll be able to go through your entire profile and update your profile for the actual tool. If it's not activated yet, you'll check a box to say activate your Find a CFP Professional tool for the LMAP website. And then you'll see a link there that you can upload a photo. I would also encourage you, as you're updating your, including your photo, go through all the filters and make sure you check as many of those off as possible, because we do know that many of the consumers that are coming to the website are using the filters once they get onto, once they get their search results, they're using the filters to further refine their results.
So Lori, as our campaign director here, we have a question from Laura. I think the two commercials you have are great. Thank you very much for that, Laura. We agree. Are you planning on any additional new commercials?
Great question, Laura, and thank you. We love them too, as we stated. They're winning awards. We're so proud of them, and the reaction we're getting from them. So the short answer for that is yes, we are planning on some new commercials. So we would be using these two here for the spring campaign in 2025, bungee and surgery. But we are actually hitting the road next week to do some focus groups around some new concepts to roll out for 2026. So stay tuned. There'll be more to come on that. But the answer is yes, using that tried and true recipe. But let's see what else we can pull together that'll be just as successful.
You're going to get that hook.
Yes.
So Sherry asked, Jim, can you repeat the target audience demographics from the start of the presentation? Household income and net worth.
Sure. The campaign's target audience is a proprietary sub-segment of the mass affluent. They're individuals aged 35 to 64, educated, employed, or recently retired, with a minimum household income of $125,000 and investable assets of $100,000 to $1 million plus.
So we have a question here from Jennifer. It says, if I'm not taking on clients, should I have or add my profile? If yes, can the message me be turned off?
If you're not actively taking clients, you cannot have a profile on letsmakeaplan.org. It's one thing that everybody that's on that search has to agree that they are taking clients. We wouldn't want consumers reaching out to CFP professionals if they weren't taking clients on.
And that's really for the benefit of both the certificate and for the consumer, right?
We want to make sure they're having a good experience through the website.
So John B asks, the NCAA keeps calling the national title game the CFP National Championship. Are they allowed to do that? CFP Board should get a free in-game commercial.
I agree.
John, we 100% agree. In fact, I'm a big Notre Dame fan, so I was actually cheering for the Irish in that game. A week before, I actually emailed Jim on a Sunday saying, we should do something for this. Unfortunately, it was above our budget. We agree with you, John. Our general counsel, Leo Wojcicki, wrote a piece about this in our February CFP Board newsletter, in fact. There are many prominent brands that face this challenge, and I'll give you a few examples. Delta Faucets and Delta Airlines. You got Dove Soap and you have Dove Chocolate. You got Burger King's Whopper, the king of Whoppers, and you have Whopper Candies, the king of candies. CFP for the college football playoffs and CFP Board CFP Mark are what's known as, in the legalese, as different channels of trade, meaning consumers are unlikely to be easily confused. We've invested nearly $180 million, so protecting the brand is an important priority for us, and we appreciate all of our certificates notice. The NCAA's football tournament is a useful opportunity to promote awareness of CFP certification. We can continue to advertise in sports, and as Lori mentioned earlier, we've even increased it by 10% in all the sports-focused channels, and are always exploring ways to maximize our outreach, including the many sports fans on our target market. I actually enjoy the fact that people think the CFP National Championship is involved with us, so we'll take that free promotion as much as we can. Jim, I want to turn to you for a second for another question. Stephen asks, what more can be done to make most Americans aware of the value of working with a CFP licensee?
Thank you, Stephen, for that question. Just point of clarification for all those listening. CFP is a certification, not a license, unlike CPA. But I know often people, often say it's a license. The goal of the public awareness campaign is to emphasize the importance of working with a CFP professional, someone who has met rigorous education, examination, and ethical requirements, and is committing to working in their client's best interest. Through targeted TV, digital, social media advertising, we are actively reinforcing this message to millions of consumers. To further amplify this message, CFP professionals can take advantage of the promotional materials we provide. I shared the toolkit, which is at cfp.net/PAC for PAC, including social media assets and branding resources. These tools consistently help extend the campaign's reach, reinforces the credibility and the trust that CFP professionals represent.
I also want to draw your attention to the QR code on the screen, which you can download a lot of this information that we're talking about today. So we have a two-part question. We have a question from Brandon and a question from Leah that I'm going to see if I can combine the two. Brandon says, and this is to you, Lori, is there a way to embed the commercials in an email to share with clients and prospects? And then Leah asks, is there a material for use on social media to promote the distinction of CFP professionals versus financial advisors? Lori, you want to take a stab at that?
Happily. So the campaign toolkit, so Jim reviewed that earlier, but the campaign toolkit, which is accessible via the QR code on your screen, is where we have all of the shareable assets and materials that are specifically designed to highlight the distinction between a CFP professional and other financial advisors. And they're ranging from social media graphics to the videos and pre-written posts, copies for social media. So yes, you can embed that commercial into an email, share it with clients via email. You can create your social media posts to promote those videos, as well as, again, the benefits of working with a CFP professional. In addition to the campaign assets that are in the toolkit, CFP Board regularly publishes research reports, articles, and other content that supports this messaging. Again, we encourage you to share these insights by following us on the various social media platforms you can find us on, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Follow us, and there's a lot of material within there that you can also share with your clients, your networks.
And to add to that, Lori, there is a brochure that CFP professionals can purchase through CFP Board. You can purchase it through your CFP Board account, which does distinguish, the benefits of working with a certified financial planning professional.
Good to know.
So Jim, Charlie asks, what steps are you taking to make sure the campaign reaches a diverse audience?
Great question, Charlie. We get this every year. The campaign is designed to reach diverse audiences across various media channels. We select the media mix based on top performing ratings and choose programming that not only delivers strong viewership, but also a broad audience representation. For example, we purchase advertising with CNN. One of the network shows is Anderson Cooper, who not only rates high amongst our target audience, but also performs high with both Black and LGBT audiences. Likewise, we'll be running advertising across various HGTV programs, which have large female audiences. So moreover, knowing sports programming, as Lori mentioned earlier, rates highly among our target audience this year, the media mix will include live programming geared to reach viewers of all races and gender, including NBA, women's NCAA basketball, March Madness, women's gymnastics, Major League Baseball, NHL Hockey Stanley Cup playoffs, and the U.S. figure skating.
Thanks, Jim. So Lori, you talked a little earlier about some of the streaming content that we're going to advertise. Here's a question from Alex. With the growing number of ad-free streaming platforms, how does your media plan ensure that the target audience still sees the ads?
That's a great question, because that's the great old debate. Do I get the ad free or the one with the ads? So even with the rise of streaming and subscription-based platforms, our campaign ads continue to generate a strong number of impressions in several ways. First, even though platforms have those ad-free options, we focus our efforts on targeting the subscribers who have the ad-supported subscriptions. And then second, our media buy includes integrations across several national cable networks such as Fox News and ESPN that incorporate CFP certification branded assets within their actual programming rather than just during the commercial break. So that's that in-programming advertising that we talked about earlier. And we do that in places such as the NFL draft sponsorship on ESPN.
Jim, another question. I think people are hearing your plea for filling out profiles.
Yeah.
How long, this is from Warren, how long does it take for the online profile to be updated after making changes?
Warren, it should be updated fairly quickly, but I would put money on it, guarantee you it'll be updated within 24 hours. But it will, I think it probably takes about an hour once, the systems talk back and forth to each other or even less, but within 24 hours, it will definitely be updated.
So Barbara asks, some of my clients mention seeing the ad, but others don't. If we're targeting them, why isn't everyone seeing them? This is an age-old question. I'll take this and see if you guys want to add on. So the 2025 Public Awareness Campaign is strategically designed to reach out to our target audience through a mix of high-impact awareness tactics, as Lori mentioned earlier. This year, we focused our budget on maximizing efficiency, meaning we reach the right viewers in the right place with the highest possible frequency. Given our budget and the diverse media consumption habits of our audience, it's unlikely that every single person in our target will see or hear a commercial. Over the course of the 9-week campaign, however, we anticipate achieving a mass reach of more than 85% of our target audience. And I believe you said it's over 1.3 billion impressions.
Correct.
Anything to add to that, either of you?
I think
Impressions is just the number of times that the ad is served and seen by the viewers. So
okay. And it really depends on where you're tuning in, when you're tuning in, but as we said here, 85% of our target audience seeing something is a pretty good saturation, if you will.
And if we can learn from history on this, if we see more ads or more opinion pieces like Thomas Friedman's, that's free promotion. So we'll take that as well. All right, we have time for 2 more questions here. I'm going to start with you, Lori. One of our ambassadors, Laura Latour, she said, "I can't wait to see the ads. They have been so successful, and I'm proud to be a CFP professional." Any comments back to Laura?
Well, first of all, thank you, Laura. We love working with Laura as one of our longtime CFP board ambassadors. So thank you for your kind words and your many contributions to the profession and to CFP board's mission. Just a little bit about CFP board ambassadors. They play a vital role in raising awareness by educating consumers on the benefits of working with a CFP professional. And they contribute by writing articles for letsmakeaplan.org, responding to media requests, participating in our social media initiatives. So their dedication helps strengthen our consumer awareness and preference for a CFP professional. So thank you, Laura, for that, and to our ambassadors and to all of our CFP professionals listening now or who may listen to this recorded version of the webinar, for all that you do to help strengthen that awareness and preference.
So Jim, the final question will go to you, and it's from Chuck. Is this campaign more specific, asking the question, is your financial advisor a CFP professional?
Chuck, yes, both bungee and surgery commercials are designed directly to prompt consumers to ask either their advisor that they currently have or a prospective advisor that they may be interested in working with. Are you a CFP professional? The ad scenarios lead consumers to consider this question, reinforcing the importance of asking the right questions, especially when it comes to their finances. The campaign makes it clear that CFP professionals are uniquely qualified and committed to working in their clients' best interests, setting them apart from other financial advisors. This call to action is also prominently featured across social media and digital ads, further emphasizing the importance of asking the right questions.
Thanks, Jim. We are at our time, but before we wrap, I just want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to join us today. A recording of this presentation will be available on CFP Board's website in the next few business days. For those of you who asked questions we didn't get to, we will follow up with you directly. We truly appreciate all you do for this profession and your continued support of CFP certification. A big thanks to my colleagues, Jim and Lori, and of course, a special thanks to our webinar's executive producer and director of executive and stakeholder communication, Lynn McDuck. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon.